Sex education continues to be a touchy subject not just in Malaysia, but many parts of the world. My late father's approach was simple. Abstinence. Because if you lose your virginity before you get married,
nanti kau kena label bantaton itu, girl.
Mum, on the other hand, was more about explaining how our hormones are wonky when you hit puberty, and she would scientifically explain what sex and pregnancy was, and explain why, though our bodies are ready for sexual intercourse, mentally and emotionally, we were not matured enough yet. She did not sugarcoat the terms either. Little birdie la, kukuchao, bobot, karipap, all this nonsense. Instead, she would use the words penis, vagina, uterus, contractions, etc., etc. After all, she was a nurse and she preferred using facts than threats, i.e. discrimination, or raising fear, i.e. using religion. And I'm glad she did that because I remember being curious about sex and boys, especially after a neighbor showed us her father's videos on guesses. Soft porn. And let me tell you, I had both my dad and mum's voices in my conscience. Oh no! But it was my mother's scientific reasoning that did it for me. I was curious, sure, but I knew I was not ready for any serious relationships, and I had a goal to eventually own my pair of K2 rollerblades and airwalk shoes. And my goals were much simpler then. So instead of focusing on boys, I was out looking for ways to earn money at the age of 50. I feel that a very comprehensive sexual health curriculum would do a good job in reducing unwanted pregnancies, STDs, as well as delaying the onset of sexual activities, especially amongst our youth. What we need to do is to craft a medically accurate and age-appropriate module or syllabus. Now, some argue that a child's brain development to weigh the consequences of their actions, in this case premarital sex, isn't fully developed until their 20s, so it may be a disservice to some. But you know what? In the wake of the Me Too movement and in response to a growing wave of sexual assaults and harassment, I personally feel that sex education and instructions about mutual consent needs to be pushed. I tell my children that their genitals are called private parts for a reason. They are private and that no one should touch them.
No one should touch them. No one should touch them.
Especially without their consent, or if they feel uncomfortable at any point, they must not be afraid to speak to someone they trust, ideally us lah kan. And I started teaching them about boundaries and touch appropriateness as early as 2 years old. Now I know talking to your child about sex can be daunting and it can be awkward, but I still feel that it's very important to focus on being honest. What do you think?